Hare Krishna. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 8, questions by King Parikshit. But first, let me offer my obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, who is the supreme, all-pervading personality of Godhead. I meditate upon that transcendent reality who is the primeval cause of all causes, from whom all manifested universes arise, in whom they dwell, and by whom they are destroyed. I meditate upon that eternally effulgent Lord who is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. It is He only who first imparted Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahma, the first created being, and through him this world, like a mirage, appears real, even to great sages and demigods. And because of him, the material universes created by the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I meditate, therefore, upon him, the absolute truth, who is eternally existent in his transcendental abode, and who is forever free of illusion. Lord Sri Krishna ki jai. And completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are pure at heart. Highest truth. Reality distinguished. Reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Srila Prabhupada, is sufficient in itself for God realization as soon as one attentively and submissively hears this message of Bhagavatam. He becomes attached to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. So, we are in text number 28 today, questions by King Parikshit. And I'll read back a couple verses just to tie it together. Beautiful verses, by the way, and beautiful purports by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupad. Text number 26 reads, O learned Brahmana, because of my drinking the nectar of the message of the infallible personality of Godhead, which is flowing down from the ocean of your speeches, I do not feel any exhaustion due to my fasting. Sutta Goswami said, thus Shukadeva Goswami, being invited by Maharaj Parikshit to speak on topics of the Lord Sri Krishna with the devotees, was very much pleased. And text number 28, which is today's verse. Parabha Bhagavatam Nama Paranam Brahma Samhitam Brahmane Bhagavat Praktam Brahmakalpa Upagate, just in the beginning, in the very beginning. There's really no beginning to anything. But there is a sense of a beginning because the universe, the creation is created and annihilated again and again. So, in the beginning, just in the beginning. So, translation by Srila Prabhupada. He just began by, excuse me, he just began to reply to the inquiries of Maharaj Parikshit by saying that the science of the personality of Godhead was spoken first by the Lord himself, Krishna, to Brahma, when he was first born. Srimad Bhagavatam is the supplementary Vedic literature, and it is just in pursuance of the Vedas. He just began to reply to the inquiries of Maharaj Parikshit by saying that the science of the personality of Godhead was spoken first by the Lord himself to Brahma, just like first invocation prayer, when he was first born. Srimad Bhagavatam is the supplementary Vedic literature, and it is just in pursuance of the Vedas. Veda means knowledge in a broad sense. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of the personality of Godhead. See, it's not speculation, it's science. I mean, science means that you can you pop it open. Science means that you can reproduce the experience through following the methods of science. There's methods of self-realization can be performed scientifically, and if you do it properly, you'll get the same result. That's what science is. It's not speculation or dreaming. When people dream about spiritual life, they dream about what they think spiritual life is like. It's just a dream. They are not. You have to follow the sciences. A dream means mostly it's sentimental. It's not based on any real factual philosophy. But it's all basically a dream because it's, again, born from bewilderment. So therefore, you can't have any real factual knowledge coming from a bewildered person. So if you follow the science, as they say, follow the science, you will also come out with the same result. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of the personality of Godhead. The impersonalist always tries to misrepresent the personal feature of the Lord without knowing the science of this great knowledge. And Srimad Bhagavatam is in pursuance of the Vedas and scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead. To learn this science, one should take shelter of the representative of Sri Sukadev and follow in the footsteps of Maharaj Parikshit without foolishly attempting to interpret. Yeah, that's where the speculation comes in. That's where the dreaming comes in. Just take it as it is. That's why we have the Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is Srimad Bhagavatam as it is. The same thing. Everything is scientific. It's Bhagavad Gita. If you follow the instructions of Lord Krishna, you will develop pure love of God. If you follow the instructions of Sukadeva Goswami, you will develop pure love of God scientifically. To learn the science, one should take shelter of the representative of Sri Sukadev and follow in the footsteps of Maharaj Parikshit without foolishly attempting to interpret, thereby committing a great offense at the feet of the Lord. Everyone, that's why there's, as in the previous teachings, the previous purports, Prabhupada talks about the Munis, and so many Munis, and they all have a different way of thinking, and the philosophy, and then another philosopher pops up with a better way of thinking. It's all offensive, because they're not following the science, they're just speculating. They have somewhat of a brain, and they may have some charismatic way of speaking, putting words together, the flowery, nice words, and attract followers and so forth, but it's all offensive because it's not following the method given here by hearing from Lord Krishna himself and Sukadeva Goswami. And all of our previous acharyas and teachers are following the same science, and they say that if you follow this science, you will get the same result we did. We all get the same result we did. It's just that's the simplicity of it, but that's the reality of it also. If you follow the science, just like they performed, a lot of chanting and hearing and chanting, and then you begin to feel a remembrance of a long-lost friend who, Lord Krishna, who resides in the heart. And then by hearing and chanting, remembering and hearing his qualities and his characteristics and his pastimes, chanting this beautiful Maha Mantra, one begins to revive his natural dormant love. And when that begins to happen, this is where Lord Chaitanya steps in. He says to Ramananda Roy, there is a highest goal. There is the highest goal of human life, and that's to develop love of Krishna. And if you have the opportunity and you see that it's available, you pay whatever price it is to get it, because that is the ultimate game of life. The ultimate goal of human life is to develop Krishna prema, or love for Krishna. So, so science, and if you follow the science of Lord Chaitanya, you will also gain pure love of God. But all these other concoctions, the dangerous ways of interpretation by the non-devotee class of men, have played havoc in understanding Srimad Bhagavad and Srimad Bhagavatam. And the careful student should be always alert in this matter if he wants to learn the real science of Godhead. Over and over in these few purports here, there is warnings about who to listen to, how to proceed on the path of Bhakti Yoga, so you get the result that our incredible, wonderful acharyas are hoping for us to get. And you will get it if you're careful. And the careful student should be always alert in the matter if he at all wants to learn the science of Godhead. The science of Godhead. This Krishna's a person, and he doesn't just let anybody come into his company. He wants to see if you are smart enough to follow the science to get him. Are you smart enough? Are you serious enough to follow the science to get him? He can be gotten. He can be gotten through the science, but also by the mercy of the previous acharyas. They're giving the mercy through the instructions. It's not like a magic wand, boom. It's kind of like a magic wand in one way, but you have to follow the procedure. You have to follow the science, and therefore you will get the same results. So that's why Krishna's, to get his direct association, is a little bit, let's say, he's a little bit careful about who comes into his company. He wants to see that you're truly serious and you truly want to follow your teachers perfectly in a humble state of mind. And then he will give his darshan to you, just like he gave the darshan to everyone else previously who followed this beautiful science of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.